If you were to go back to when you were in either high school or college, what is the best piece of advice that you would tell your younger self? If you're having a conversation with 20-year-old you, what would you say?
Oh, this is a trite old saying, but I just heard it the other day. Anthony Hopkins was saying this on YouTube. He said that today is the tomorrow you were worried about yesterday. Have you heard that one?
I have, yeah.
Okay, anyway, so.
Well, no, I like that one. Yeah, I guess.
So, I mean, today worked out fine. So, but yesterday you're all worried about it. And so the tomorrow that you're worried about is going to work out fine. Just stay cool and everything's going to happen.
I love that. It reminds me of actually like a verse from Matthew in the Bible. I don't know if it's like Matthew 6:38, where it says, "Don't worry about tomorrow, for today is enough of like its own evil." But
Something like
yeah,
that.
definitely.
Right.
But I guess I'll ask you next, like, what industry did you decide to pursue a career in?
I teach at UT.
Have you always been a professor, or kind of?
For the last 20 years.
And what were you doing before being a professor?
I was a software engineer for 10 years, and I was a stay-at-home dad for 5 or 10 years, sort of overlapping those things.
Absolutely. So what advice would you give to someone wanting to pursue the technology industry?
Be patient, be ready for the burnout, it's going to happen, and have a plan B.
Absolutely. And I guess from what you've seen throughout your career as a software engineer, in today's world, what do you think is the best computer programming language that people should kind of look to adapt and get under their belt?
Oh, I have no idea. I've been out of it for over 20 years.
Absolutely, yeah. And I guess the next thing I'll ask you is, throughout your career, what was the best financial decision that you ever made?
I guess investing in real estate long term was a good decision. Also, marry a successful lawyer. That's a really good advice.
Okay.
If you can do that, you're more than halfway there.
Absolutely. But so investing in real estate, what kind of allowed you to get to that point? And like, how did you know that it was a good time to buy? Or like, what did you look for in the market that said, hey, this is a good investment? What advice would you give someone wanting to kind of invest in real estate?
Well, it's mostly just luck, just dumb luck. I happened to buy in at the bottom of the market in the S&L crisis of 86 to 92. I kind of felt like that things were cheap. The houses I was looking at had rats running in and out of them, and it seemed like nobody was buying real estate at the time, so I thought I'll do it. And also, I just got married, so that was the time to buy a house. So it was mostly just luck, just pure luck.
Absolutely.
And I lucked out in my spouse.
Yeah. And what do you think is the best industry that people should be looking to get into in 2023? Like, if there's any one industry that you've seen, whether as a professor or working in technology, like, what have you seen that you kind of recommend people to look to get into in today's world?
Well, I don't advise people to do things for financial reward. So I don't have my finger on the pulse of that. I teach philosophy and I teach a lot of pre-law, and I think law is an excellent career. My wife has done well in it, and it's something that it's very flexible. You can fight for justice. You can be a corporate bond lawyer. You can try to get rich. You can do international law. You can do as much good as you want, and you can almost make as much money as you want. So it's a very flexible career, and it seems intellectually stimulating.
Yeah, I love that. And just one last question for you. From what you have seen throughout your career, how can someone become financially free in today's world? Whether it's a skill set, a mindset thing that people should kind of look to adapt when starting their careers that you wish you would have known, or that you'd advise someone. How can someone begin their pathway to becoming wealthy starting in 2023?
I mean, I'm lucky. I married somebody who is very successful and driven. I didn't come from family money, but my family wasn't poor or anything. They're upper middle class. I mean, I'm just extremely lucky. So my advice is just hang in there and hope you get lucky. I mean, I don't really give advice in that regard. I mean, I don't really deserve most of the things that I have achieved. I'm just fortunate, so I don't really know how to give advice in that regard.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, thank you so much for your time,
Sure.
sir. I appreciate that.